over time, I worked on building my own personal brand because I felt that as a startup, your the founder's brand and the founder's face is how people get to know about the company as well. And therefore, it is something which the founder also has to invest in, because that's how people, even your users, build trust knowing whose company it is. Even the partners say, okay, let's start working on it based on who it is. Like if you somebody tells me today, hey, there's a new startup, my first question is, who are the founders? Because the founder quality says a lot about the business and what you can expect from it.
Hello and welcome to the Anahita Speaker Series presented by Carnegie India, celebrating stirring stories of empowerment, struggle, and success from women professionals in different fields across the globe. Stories we hope are bound to inspire young professionals. I'm Anvi Okhori, Program and Research Intern with the Security Studies team at Carnegie India. Today, we are honored to have with us Swati Bhargava. Swati is the co-founder of CashKaro, India's leading cashback and coupons platform, and EarnKaro, a pioneering social cashback app. A graduate of the London School of Economics, she began her career in the investment banking at Goldman Sachs in London. Swati's entrepreneurial journey started with the launch of Pouring Pounds in the UK, a cashback venture, which later inspired the creation of CashKaro in India. Beyond her business ventures, Swati is also the co-host of Bad Podcast, also entitled Being a Dreamer, where she engages with leaders and changemakers about their journeys, sharing stories of business, leadership, and staying inspired. Swati is a dynamic leader and has been recognized for her impactful contributions to the Indian startups ecosystem. She leverages the power of social media to connect, inspire, and advocate for women in the entrepreneurship world. Swati, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today. I look forward to our conversation.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So let's dive right in and start talking about the transition from growing up in a small town in Haryana to studying at the London School of Economics. Could you share with us what influenced you to pursue this path?
Well, I grew up in Ambala, which is a small town, like you said, it's near Chandigarh. And I think growing up, I had never really thought that I'll study abroad or I'll go abroad for that matter. And then one day, my dad saw this advertisement in the newspaper for Singapore Airlines scholarship, asking people to apply. And Singapore Airlines would actually fund your entire 11th, 12th class education, including stay in Singapore. So when I saw it, I was like, wow, like this would be amazing to get. And immediately self-doubt crept in, and I said, hey, but what are the chances that a girl from Ambala is going to be among the 25 people all over India who will qualify for this? Almost none. But I think at that point there was something in me which wanted to know where I stood, because I was always like a school topper, state topper. But then what does that mean in India? Could I actually get this? So I didn't stop myself from not applying, and I said, let's just go ahead and give it our best shot. And before I knew it, I made it to the next round, then an aptitude test, cleared that interview, and finally we got the scholarship. So I remember holding that letter in my hand, and my parents and everyone standing next to me saying, now what do we do? We never thought we'd get so far. But I hadn't thought, should they send a 16-year-old girl who's never even gone abroad for a holiday to study and live abroad itself for 2 years? And then who knows after that as well. But I'm glad that everyone agreed together that this was a break. This was one of those times when the opportunity is knocking on the door and you really need to learn that this is the one and listen to it. And I went for that, and then from there on I saw people apply for further education. So I got into Oxford, LSE, a lot of the colleges in the UK. And then LSE again, I applied for scholarship. I said it's great to get that opportunity, but I can't afford it. So got 80% scholarship from LSE. I did mathematics and economics, and I think that kind of going to Singapore changed my life, because it was the first step towards everything else that happened after that.
No, that's truly remarkable. I think living abroad really changes your perspective on life and just opens you up to so many other possibilities.
Studying abroad is an experience that changes you, but studying abroad on scholarship, knowing that you got here because of some achievement, and you need to further keep doing it like that to continue your scholarship, all that is a different dynamic altogether.
Yeah, surely. And just moving forward with the kind of enthusiasm and the passion that you've carried on in your educational journey, I want to now start talking about your career and what actually inspired you to start pouring pounds, and how did that lead to starting up CashKaro in India? And how was your experience as a first time entrepreneur, in the UK and in India?
Well, after LSE, I worked at Goldman Sachs in London for 5 years. I did investment banking, and towards the end of that is when I met my husband Rohan. We had actually met in LSE, but we were just flatmates and like only friends and flatmates for like 3 years until and nothing happened. And I think after that we started dating. Then we realized that hey, we already know each other so well, so we got married. Within 3 months of starting to date, and after that, no, agreed to marry, and then got married later. And then as soon as we got married, he had this entrepreneurial bug in him. So Rohan would always keep talking about how he wants to do his own business, and we would always be on the lookout for ideas. And I also got roped in, with that enthusiasm. And we came across cashback sites in the UK, and we felt, hey, that's a brilliant idea. That if you shop online via this site, you get money back, and why won't you do it? Like, why would you not want that money back? But it was just that people weren't doing it enough, and they didn't know about it. So we started off with pouring pounds as a B2B platform, setting up cashback sites for other large newspapers and magazines. And soon after that, we realized that actually India is the market we should be doing this business in, because people in India love savings. E-commerce was growing in India. We wanted to do something that grows with e-commerce. So the product market fit was really good. And we had a small team in India helping us with pouring pounds. So they also used to keep saying, why don't you do it here? Why don't you do it here? So we just launched CashKaro in 2013. And, the initial few months itself, there was such good organic traction that we went back and raised money in the UK from angel investors, our friends and family. So we wanted to do a $350,000 round, but in 48 hours we managed to close $750,000, which was like more than double, and we were really excited that actually so many people want to put money in our business. And so with that, we kind of came to India and we started growing Kashkaro more. And today, 11 years later, we're a 450 member team based out of Gurgaon, and a small office in Chennai as well. We do 4,000 crores in sales every year to our partners, and we're the number one affiliate for all e-commerce.
No, that certainly is really remarkable. I think like the way your husband has influenced you and the way you have molded it to your own thing is quite remarkable. And speaking of just generally establishing a business in India, what do you think were the challenges that you came across in like establishing a cashback business model in a new market in India, considering that e-commerce is growing and so on?
Yeah. So I'll take a quick minute to tell you how it works, because that leads into the challenges as well. So when you're shopping online on Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, any website, you normally go directly to the site or app and you shop. But instead, if you come to CashKaro, and from CashKaro you go to Amazon and place your order, you now get 5-6% certain amount of percentage cashback from our site. And this cashback can vary by category, by partner. I mean, very often we have deals on our site that are giving 80-90% cashback. Like right now we have like a brand called Stretch. I use their leggings and active wear while I'm working out, and we're giving 90% cashback on that. We give 20% on For Essentials, 7% on booking.com. So the numbers vary from different partners. So it's all about saying that us going to these partners and saying, hey, let's work on a performance marketing model. We'll drive you sales and you give us commission for that. And from that commission is what we pass cash back to our members. So if you go via CashKaro, you'll get extra cash back because we're sharing that with you from the commission we're getting from these partners. So when we started this model here, it was it wasn't actually as hard to convince partners to work with us, because even they recognize that this is performance marketing, they're only paying for sales, and it's a no brainer. Like, why won't you do it? Because if we are sending so much traffic to Nika, and Nika is only paying us if we drive a sale, then Nika's got so much extra traffic compared to the payout that you're doing, because it's only on a transaction. So most people like this form of marketing, which is very performance driven. So the initial challenges were in, a, setting up the reporting with the partners, that how would we have all these reports flow through, how do you track the transactions that are coming from us. And on the user side, we had to explain to people, how is this cashback different from, like a Paytm cash or a payment gateway that people are used to the word cashback, but cashback means differently here, because if you're getting 20% cash back, it comes in your CashKaro account and you can transfer it to your bank as real cash. So the fact that you're getting real cash is the key USP. Mostly people think cashback matlab I have to go spend it somewhere else, and that's not how this works. This is real cash. You can take shopping vouchers also, one for one, no deduction on anything. So we just felt that people were really tired of collecting points and having like a million points and exchanging it for a little bunny. So like there was the value consciousness, wanted real value back and real cash. So I think the initial challenges were in setting up that ecosystem on the partner side and the education on the user side. But now over the last 10 years, we've done a fair bit of that and emerged as a category builder. So that's the advantage as well.
No, thank you for explaining that to me. I think it really simplifies what the actual ecosystem actually looks like. Um, no, on another point, I wanted to talk to you about like your general presence on social media and how CashKaro has sort of taken a big role in social media to amplify its personal brand. And we just want to know how it, employs social media to its own benefit.
CashKaro, like any other new age brand right now, recognizes the fact that people spend a lot of time on social media, and therefore, there is value in figuring out how brands can spark conversations, because it is about conversation now as opposed to just presence, not as much only about the followers but the engagement and user generated content, moment marketing, it's all of that. So our brand team focuses a lot on that. And at a personal level, when we moved here from London, I had no social media presence whatsoever. And I remember my first photo on Instagram was Regent's Park, like just a tree, thinking, look, people post nature on Instagram, which they do as well. But then over time, I worked on building my own personal brand, because I felt that as a startup, the founder's brand and the founder's face is how people get to know about the company as well. And therefore, it is something which the founder also has to invest in, because that's how people, even your users, build trust knowing whose company it is. Even the partners say, okay, let's start working on it based on who it is. Like if somebody tells me today, hey, there's a new startup, my first question is, who are the founders? Because the founder quality says a lot about the business and what you can expect from it. So building a personal brand, helping get out there, people know that okay, your brand is going to be a reflection of you are the person responsible. If they have a query, a grievance, they know who they can go to, and that's a big thing, the fact that they can go to someone. And I think that's why I've invested in it. I have close to 500,000 followers across different platforms now, and I post content around cash grow deals, around our business model, around entrepreneurship in general, around company culture. We do a lot of focus on that. So how to ace interviews, how to do better at your job. So it's a mixture of different things. I haven't picked a certain niche, because I believe that my Instagram, my social media is a reflection of who I am. I am not a single one dimensional person who's only an entrepreneur, not anything else. So why should my social media be? So I don't believe in having a niche.
No, I think just having a social media presence nowadays is so important that like you can't go without it. And you said so rightly about having trust in who the brand is and who they belong to. Um, and now that like so many people are shopping online, and Cashkaro has made it so much smarter for people to shop online. Coming to how this might play into how your platform may encourage or empower women, especially homemakers or small business owners, to be more financially independent. Yeah, I would just like to know your thoughts on how CashKaro helps them um, empower themselves. Yes.
Well, CashKaro is for all online shoppers, but we actually launched another platform called EarnKaro, and coincidentally, the color is exactly this green for EarnKaro, and it's about 4 years old. And EarnKaro is massively being used by influencers, by homemakers, by students to earn extra money. Because what EarnKaro allows you to do is to make your own affiliate links for any deal online. So for example, if I am a woman who's part of a, let's say my condo has a women's group, and people are like, hey, I love this outfit that you're wearing, where's it from? Normally I would send my Mintra link. Now what I can do is copy that Mintra link on my Earnkaro app, get my affiliate link for Mintra, and share that, so that whenever anyone is shopping via that link of mine, I actually earn money. So Ankaro is a way for you to make affiliate links across the internet, post them wherever you want. If anyone shops via your link, you earn money. And the people who use it the most are Telegram groups. So we have Telegrammers who actually have got lakhs of subscribers on their group, and they use Ankaro to post links. They use our automation tools, and the links keep going out, and they earn about 10 lakhs a month. Can you believe that? 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 2 lakhs, all category, even 1 crore. There are people who earn so much every month, because you can't even imagine how explosive earn crore is and Telegram is, and that combination is.
No, Telegram is a surprising social media platform that I never even considered, and it's so interesting. Yeah, no, that's definitely really interesting. Coming to you've also started a Be a Dreamer, infamously known as the Bad Podcast.
Yeah.
What inspired you to take this on, and what have you learned from it?
Yeah. Yeah. So when we launched the Bad podcast a few weeks back, and the real intention behind it was that, I was coming across all these people, like I just mentioned, Telegrammers and others who are earning lakhs every month. And I was shocked. I was in awe, actually. I was like, how are these people earning so much money? And that was the intent of saying, hey, these are the stories we should bring out. And as we were thinking about it, we came across various names: India Untold, Bharat Ki Baat, lot of different names. But then somebody in our team actually came up with bad, like bad, Be a Dreamer. So Be a Dreamer came up, and we like, hey, that is actually bad. So why don't we go with Bad podcast? And then that's how we started playing on how should the marketing play out, and just have fun with it. And we've done 2 episodes so far, and some of them, I mean, one of them has actually reached 1 million organic views on LinkedIn. So it's content that people are liking, because everybody wants to know, how do you earn 10 lakhs a month extra? That's more than what we earn in a salary. And I think it's a topic that appeals to all. So that's how we started it. And then what, I mean, it's too early to say what I've learned from it, but one thing that I have learned is that, it's one thing to say, when you see from the outside so many people are doing podcasts, and you think, oh, this can't be so hard. I mean, you have to ask questions, what's the big deal? But the thing is, when you have all that content and you try and create a reel out of it, you need to have the right hook at the start. If you don't have the right hook at the start, it doesn't take off as well. So there's a lot more thinking that we are doing now in order to produce those reels, versus what might look from the outside.
Well, thank you for that. Now we have a quick little fun round of rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So just like a one word, two word answer, I think that's good. So
Okay.
we'll start off with the first question. Your favorite social media platform?
If WhatsApp qualifies, then WhatsApp, otherwise Instagram.
I think WhatsApp qualifies, yeah. One thing you look for in a potential hire?
The energy. I am all about energy of people. So I look for that, for especially in people who are going to join our team.
Favorite way to spend a free day?
Free day, I would love to spend outdoors, idly in a new place, exploring a new place that I haven't seen before, with my family and friends.
That sounds lovely. Online shopping or in-store browsing?
Oh, online any day. In store, mein toh, like I'll never get to it only. I'll go, then I won't go.
Something that's inspired you recently?
Actually, all these people who are earning so much money via Earn Karo. The ones we are featuring on the bad podcast, I'm sitting there and thinking, oh my lord, this person earned 20 lakhs a month. What am I doing? So and then I'm telling myself, you are creating the way he can earn so much. So I'm massively inspired.
Okay. Something you're always going to say no to.
The wrong way to succeed, whatever that might be in that situation.
Describe your husband as a coworker in one word.
Dream co-founder.
Okay, well, props to your husband. All right, I think we've covered most of the questions. What I want to know now is, as you move ahead in your journey and in CashKaro, what is next for you, and what do you seek to achieve in the next, say, 5 years?
I think for CashKaro, it is a business that can massively scale in India. So we are looking at 100 million users as the next stop. We're at 25 million right now, so we still have, some way to go. And for me personally, I have changed so much over the last 10 years. I've learned so much, and I think this entrepreneurship journey has been very enriching. But I want to be the next step for me is to be an entrepreneur who can scale, because I don't think there are many of those around.
Now, at a crucial time in CashKaro's fundraising journey, you were also in the midst of going through a couple of health challenges. And how did you navigate this challenging period? Balancing your health needs and the demands of running and growing your own business.
Well, I had a kidney transplant about 2 years ago, and when I was going to have it in 2022, we started off the year saying we're going to do a fundraise for CashKaro. We got around to doing it around May, June. We started working on it, and in July, my doctor said that, hey. So, I mean, actually, I had a kidney problem for the last 20 years. I managed it with a good lifestyle. But I think 2022 was the time when that kidney function started coming down to 4-5%. My hemoglobin was like 5.5. So he said, you should get a kidney transplant. And I said, what, right now? Like, I'm in the middle of a fundraiser. So I need to complete that. And he's like, okay then, but please think about yourself. Like, you need to do this as well. And it has to happen. So I think around that time of July, August, then we started doing, tests. We were trying to see if my mom would be a good match. So there would be days when I would, do like investor calls in the morning, go to the hospital, come back, look at SHAs, look at documents, like just do both. And I think I learned how to compartmentalize, the two things and not mix them up and just focus, because I had this in mind ki I will do my transplant after fundraise only and I have to do both. So I need to complete both. And just, I think the universe really supports you when you are doing your best and when you have the faith. So it worked out. My mom's kidney was a match. Our fundraise also happened. We raised 130 crores Series C from Affle Global. So that was a massive, thing to close. And I remember we closed it all in October, and then my I told my doctor that also looks like I have another month, because you said until November I can wait. So let me go to Goa for a holiday and come back, and then we'll do it, because then anyways after that I can't travel. He said fine, go do that also. So I did that as well. And then we did a press release 4th November. I remember 7th November I checked into the hospital. 10th November my transplant was done, and 2 weeks later I was back to working from home. So I worked from home for the next couple of months as I was recovering, and also to not catch any infection. But after that, thankfully, things are fine, and I came back to normal life, even more than before, if I can say so. Touch wood, yeah.
No, sounds like you handled it so amazingly. It sounds almost like a superpower. No, I think that's a great win on both ends, both on the business and the health. I wanted to just ask one last question on how do you face the challenges in being a woman entrepreneur in a very male dominated space,
Yeah.
especially in like startups and the entire ecosystem.
Well, it's always been like that, from the start. Like when I got my Singapore scholarship, was 70% male. LSE was like that also. Goldman Sachs, so 90% male. And then the tech industry also, women founded businesses are less than 20%. So I think women who are working actually, who are in the boardroom, are used to that ratio just being so lopsided, and it's sad that we're used to it, but it is so. And I think the way that I've always dealt with it is to not think about it, not worry about it, not pay heed to it. I don't think of myself as a woman entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur just like anyone else, like all my male counterparts, and that's how I approach it. And I think, even when it comes to fundraise, at the end of the day, if your business can make money for the investor, they won't be biased. Yeah, I know there are some bias. Like, for example, if it's a data startup, you would kind of expect that the guy will be a co-founder, and so those kind of bias has set in, those kind of stereotypes have set in. But there are enough women who are breaking those stereotypes, and I think we need to focus on those stories more. And as more and more of those stories are coming out, people are also changing. I mean, I know that tomorrow, like, I have to attend an entrepreneurs dinner, and I think it's going to be 18 male and 2 female, and so it doesn't bother me. So, but I think it's just about telling yourself that focus on the bigger picture, focus on what you're building versus what people are thinking. What they're thinking doesn't matter, because that's what they're thinking. It may or may not be the fact. So that's what I tell myself, and I just get on with it.
No, I think that's really sound advice, especially in like male dominated fields. Now we're coming to an end. Thank you so much, Ms. Swati Bhargava, for taking this time to have this conversation. To our audience, we hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as we did. Do visit Carnegie India's YouTube channel. All the episodes of the Anahita Speaker Series can be accessed there. Thank you, and see you next month.